Adrian, you are the author of the book about the black salve. Could you please tell us what is it, the black salve?
Black salve is a herbal and mineral paste that has been made up probably over the last 40 or 50 years for treatment with various types of skin afflictions, especially a folk remedy for skin cancers.
Which way you use it?
It's applied topically on the skin, depending on whether there's a diagnosis or not. Some people don't worry about a diagnosis. It's put on topically and covered over with a dressing and left for a certain period of time, just depending.
Can you say roughly how many people has been using the black salve, or how many people is using it?
That would be very difficult to say. It's extremely popular in some countries like Australia, America. It's becoming very popular in Western Europe. I get calls from dozens and dozens of countries every year regarding the use of black salve.
Mm-hmm. And what is the state in Australia now? Is it possible to use it legally? Is it possible to use it legally anywhere at all?
I'm not sure of the legalities in many countries. In my own country, in Australia, it is generally considered to be not approved. As to its legality, it hasn't been tested in court. It's a folk remedy, and a lot of people use it regardless of the legal status. They don't care whether it's legal or not, they just use it.
Why do you think it is forbidden?
Well, like so many remedies that have been considered to be folk remedies over the years, its use is very effective, very simple to use, inexpensive, and because of that I think there's a money issue. Big medicine these days is about making money, and if black salve were to be approved, then I think that would probably account for 50% of dermatological fees that are paid, and I think that would not be a good thing for the medical monopolists.
Did anyone ever threaten you in connection with the black salve?
Oh yes, so I've had various visits from regulatory authorities, state health departments, on a couple of occasions. The pharmaceutical regulation agency called the Therapeutic Goods Administration in Australia have threatened me with fines of up to $2.75 million and or 5 years in jail.
Have you ever seen some inadequate reaction after the black salve was applied? Is it dangerous in any way?
Oh yes, like any medicine, unless guidance is given or provided, advice as to how it's to be used, for how long. I've seen people overuse it and cause unnecessary damage to skin. I've also seen people who haven't used it adequately, in other words, underused it. And if you underuse the medicine, then it's not going to be as effective as it should be.
How long have you been working with the black salve?
Probably for about 20 years now.
Do you work directly with clients? How do they get the black salve?
Yeah, in my country we're not allowed to recommend the use of black salve, and we're certainly not allowed or permitted to sell the black salve, but I work with people who have chosen to use black salve to treat this or that, and given the experience that I've had and the wide experience I've had with patients in the clinic and also interstate and overseas, I work with a lot of patients, maybe thousands of people over the last 20 years, in helping them to treat themselves in various ways for various sorts of skin cancers.
How do you see your future?
I take it one day at a time. I'm quite aware of the requirements of the law of the land, but I'm also quite aware of the rights that human beings have under the laws of God to choose how to be healthy and how to treat themselves, and I support anyone who makes those freedoms of choice.
You happy with your life?
Oh yes, happy, content. I think the secret to life is to learn to be content with your lot, regardless of what that might be.